Virtually everyone who exists on the internet at some point or another has now heard the term brain rot. Brain rot was actually officially named Oxford Dictionary's Word of the Year back in 2024, with 2025 being rage baiting, which arguably kind of falls under the same umbrella. But if you live under a rock, i.e., don't exist on the internet, brain rot typically means kind of sloppy, overgenerated, nonsensical content that you would consume in mass amounts. The key examples here obviously being the Italian brain rot, the 6-7 meme, and also AI slop, with the absolute king being Skibidi Toilet. But what's funny about this is the fact that even though we called brain rot in a derogatory kind of joking way, there's actually some pretty good evidence that it is damaging our cognitive health. Studies done on content that would fall under the category of kind of junky content that isn't that significant and is kind of overstimulating have actually found cognitive declines in the people who consume them too much. This cognitive decline was found in the form of a reduction in attention span, with sometimes up to 35% of a reduction in their attention span. This is largely due to short-term video use, so apps like TikTok, Shorts, Instagram Reels. Obviously, having a shorter attention span causes massive problems with regards to future issues that those children or people consuming the content at any age may face, including problem solving and memory skills. Being impatient is also probably not ever a good thing. Something that's also being heavily researched at the moment is the idea of dopamine desensitization. This is basically when you have this constant exposure to these clips, clip after clip after clip, scroll after scroll, and you eventually become kind of desensitized to new and exciting information. Because you constantly have access to these things that grab your attention, other tasks such as reading and studying become far less interesting to you, and even deep conversations with other people have been shown to be affected by this kind of scrolling. Unfortunately, there have also been links shown between declining mental health and overconsumption of this kind of slop content. Constant access to loud, attention-seeking and nonsensical videos is likely to cause an increase in anxiety in people who are constantly accessing them all the time. And just as the cherry on top of the cake, the final thing that's being researched with regards to the actual science of brain rot affecting the brain is neural changes within the brain. There is currently a school of thought within science that this constant screen time and obsessively scrolling through stuff that has no real importance in your life actually leads to neural changes within your brain. The biggest concern here is that this may lead to a thinning of the actual cerebral cortex within your brain, which is really, really important for problem solving. So obviously going forward, being able to problem solve is going to be a big deal, and kind of having a thinning of that area is very concerning. So whilst brain rot was originally coined as a kind of mocking term, we now do have some evidence that it does actually affect our brain and the way it works, with the main fronts being memory, emotional regulation, and also academic ability, with people kind of falling behind with their literacy skills because they're consuming content that's not really beneficial. So going forward into the future, we could see brain rot become an actual health concern. And more scientific studies are likely to be published in this topic in the next 6-7 years.